What's up guys and welcome to part 16 of the Ultimate Guide to Dark Souls 3. Today we're going to be going through the Grand Archives and the remainder of Lothric Castle.
Aye. So this is actually like the longest episode. There's a lot of stuff surrounding certain quests and things for this episode that we're going to obviously cover. So the first thing that we're doing actually, because we've got an interesting trick that someone in the comments, can't remember who it is, but shouts out to you, because you know who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are. Was it the guy with the Scott Pilgrim looking emote
Maybe.
thing? It was like a little cartoon face, because he's been commenting a lot and he's always getting
No,
some
it's
like
not him,
extra
it was a
tips.
different guy
Is it
actually.
not? Well, that guy, thanks to you as well, because you've always got some good tips to put in as well.
Aye.
But
Although you
point
make us
is-
feeling very inadequate. Regardless though, right, so you can get a Pyromancer glove, and we would suggest Toxic Mist, but Poison Mist can also work as well, just a much...
Yeah, or if you have the stats, you can use the Storyteller's Staff and use that Pestilent Mercury thing. But basically, the thing to do, the reason why we're saying use this is because of the Crystal Sage that's here. Apparently, it only warps away if you do physical damage to it, so if you poison it with like Pestilent Mercury or Toxic Mist, it'll just sit there and take it. And it takes 3 casts of Toxic Mist with a practically, I think it's a +1 Pyro Glove or something.
Yeah.
It's practically unupgraded, and we only have fucking 10 Intelligence and 15 Faith. So...
Yeah, I mean, you can do this at absolute base stats. I don't think you need stats for Toxic Mist.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, I never checked.
Right,
but
for those of you who like break the natural flow of the game and do the Dancer before Vort and come up here, you won't be able to go past this point until you've killed the other Lords of Cinder. That's when Goddard's body will show up there with the Grand Archives key. You need to kill the other Lords of Cinder.
Yeah. So here we're coming up towards the Crystal Stage. Now this guy, if you don't somehow manage to kill him, like running up straight here and killing him, he'll warp away and then he'll end up peppering you with spells like the whole
He'll
rest
teleport
of the archives.
throughout the archives until he gets to like a big cross bridge section at the top,
Yeah.
and then he'll just stay there. He will, if you run up and hit him, he will teleport, but he'll disappear and then he'll reappear on that bridge. So like that's the final place. So we just pop out, hit him with a Toxic Mist, and then of course we're going to speed this up. It took 3 casts total. The guy has like 4,500 HP basically.
Yeah, something like that. Again, the Storyteller Staff weapon art will do way more damage, as far as we're aware anyway.
According to the wiki, it does at least double the damage of toxic and poison spells. At least double, maybe 3 times as much, so it'll be a lot quicker. Maybe 1 cast of Pestilent Mercury will kill it, because it took 3 toxics to kill it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I never even knew the staff done that. It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
However, yeah, I mean, Toxic Mist does a great job. Remember, you get Toxic Mist in Smouldering Lakes. Go watch that episode if you want to know how to get it. But you can get Poison Mist like pretty much anywhere as long as you save Cornix.
Yeah, so that's the Crystal Sage scroll. That's the last scroll we need to give to
For Orbeck, yeah.
Orbeck, yeah.
Now, if you kill the Crystal Sage this way, here, it makes this area so much easier.
Oh, before we go any further, you're going to notice that there's probably some frame rate issues in this episode. I updated my Nvidia driver and it caused a bunch of staggering and shit like that, so I had to roll back my driver and disable my Steam overlay and shit like that, so it'll be fixed for the next part, but this might have some like actual frame drops in the recording because Shadowplay fucked up.
Yeah, it's just a few little stars. It's not a big deal, but just in case you're wondering, it's not
It
your
happens
computer.
like yeah, it's not YouTube or anything like that, it's the actual game that stuttered. I thought the Shadowplay would come out fine, but the game was legitimately freezing for like a half second and shit like that. It's coming up like right now, I think.
So anyway, we went up those little stairs, got the Titanite chunk, and then we're coming up these stairs. Now these...
Yeah, this right
Yeah.
here, this is what I'm talking about. So this is something I went through because the Steam overlay was fucking about with Dark Souls. Yeah, it's going to do this like every now and again, it's going to do that, guys. So
It's
sorry.
only a little bit though, so you don't
Yeah.
need to worry. But yeah, so this is progress here now. This area is actually quite easy to miss a bunch of items, and there's a lot of really good items in this area as well, as like a Titanite slab. And
Quite
stuff.
a few Twinkling Titanites and scales in this area.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we highly recommend that you kill the Crystal Sage, especially if it's your first go. Kill the Crystal Sage doing what we done. It will seriously make your life a lot.
You
fucking
should
easier.
have the stats to use Toxic Mist anyway, because you need the 10 Intelligence to do Orbeck in the first place. And if you are doing Orbeck, then you should definitely use Toxic Mist. If you don't have the stats for Toxic Mist, we actually highly recommend you get the stats to do it, because it's only 10 Intelligence and then that's you done.
Is it 10 in for Toxic Mist?
I'm pretty sure like the
Well, whatever it
requirement
is,
was,
just
like,
get
10.
even if it has stats, it doesn't have stats. It's not a lot. So
No, it's very low requirement for them. I mean, it does 1500 damage one cast to the Crystal Sage, so definitely use it. This is an item I miss quite a lot, by the way. That Titanite scale, I always forget it's there,
Yeah.
because I never recognise that staircase.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go like around the stair, like the bookshelf that we came in, and then we're going to come around this way. So it's like the bookshelf that we came in, the one on the right, just follow that around to the right from the big wax pool.
And then dealing with these Lothric. So these ones actually buff. Now, the ones in the Grand Archives, I think the ones in Lothric Castle before Dragonslayer armor, they buffed as well,
A couple have, yeah.
Yeah,
but
the ones with the Lothric Knight Greatsword did.
But basically, this guy's a total pain in the ass.
Oh, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. This guy gives me quite the fucking challenge.
Yeah.
He fucks me up real good. Real good.
But general Lothric stats, it seems like this one's actually a little bit easier to backstab because he seems a little bit more aggressive than the other one. It seems to me anyway, I'm not sure if that's necessarily true. But
so this is actually the room behind the guy where the crystal chime is. This is behind the Lothric Knight.
Yeah. And you fall into the ground.
I somehow phase through the ground as if like, the fuck? I try to replicate it, but the game's just like, nah, it's okay, we fixed it. Don't worry, we got it. So a lot of little bugs like that with Dark Souls 3. Maybe it's the 60 FPS, because in Dark Souls 1 with the 60 FPS, you could, if you slid down a ladder, you could straight up go right through the floor.
So there's a tiny chunk on the ledge there, and there's also a bit round here, but this will open up later on. So what you want to do is wax yourself. You don't really need to do this right now because the next room...
you do want to do it. You do want to do it because this room has a bunch of ghost hands that will come out the bookcase, and if you don't have a wax head, it will start to curse you, and you obviously don't want that. Now there's 2 crystal lizards here, and there's something that I think a lot of people are definitely going to miss. I miss it almost every time again because it's so fucking dark in here, but there's a lever here that I had literally no idea about until we went to do the guide. I think it was Gary that told us.
Yeah, it might have been.
I think it was Gary that told us. But yes, there's a couple items in here, and I'm looking for the lever, and it leaves me on quite. It's right beside that staircase, actually.
Now you can see these hands. Now, weirdly enough, right, I don't know if anyone's noticed this just as we're walking about for the lever, but they look like Seath's arms.
They remind me of like old shitty Ghostbusters animation from like the actual Bill Murray Ghostbusters film. They remind me of that shit.
They look like shit. Like they look like absolute garbage.
They look like fucking shit.
So sorry about this like taking so long to find the lever, but it is here. We were just looking in the fucking...
Yeah, it's beside the staircase.
Yeah.
I mean, I've only seen this lever 2 times in my entire playthrough.
So it's just to the left of the staircase that the crystal lizard runs up.
Yeah.
But as you see, I mean, that's a fairly easy thing to miss because it's in an alcove and, you know, I mean, you're trying to get the other crystal lizard.
There's a power within in here.
And
I can't remember what's in
Witch's
it. Yeah, Witch's Lock.
That's it.
The fucking... That whip is actually amazing. It's really fucking good. Like, it's one of the viable, like, PvP builds is, like, a mage as a pyromancer with that whip. It's pretty damn good. You can close the distance with that whip. Well, you can keep them at a distance with that whip, and if they get in too close, you just fire surge cheese them.
So anyway, we're getting into the real meat of this area. You may want to run back and wax again. I think we do, but because there's a bunch of items that you want to get. So you can kick this ladder down here, and then that's like a shortcut.
At this point, the Crystal Sage, by the way, will be peppering you from spells from up above. If he transports, he will be right above you.
I've actually spliced in footage from the Crystal Sage, so this right now should be the preliminary footage where we will be getting shot off the Crystal Sage.
Yeah, you just seen that explosion beside us. So the Crystal Sage is going to be in this balcony straight up above us right now. So we go under here to fight things because it's safe.
So this will be slightly slower footage than normal because it's preliminary, but it's just to show you that how you deal with this area when the Crystal Sage is here, what to look out for and stuff. Because we didn't want to just get rid of the Crystal Sage that most of you won't do anyway, and then you're like, oh well, this is not quite what I'm dealing with. So
the reason why I stood under the balcony for so long, by the way, is just to lose the aggro from the Crystal Sage, so I can take these guys out pretty easily. I don't think it can hit you from up there anyway, so you shouldn't be too worried about it. But we're gonna go up and deal with it eventually. I'm pretty sure there's a lever here as well.
Yeah, there's a lever.
There's a bookcase downstairs.
Yeah, this is you looking for it currently.
Yeah, because you told me it was like in a corner somewhere. I'm like, no, it's fucking here.
So we went up there and we waxed our head because there's lots of these arms and stuff.
So the bookcase is like over there and down at the very beginning of the archives. I think we're going to go get it now, aren't we?
Yeah, so we use that shortcut that we just put down in order to get it. Now there's a crystal lizard that you see there, we're going to get that later on as well. There's a lot of tricky drops and stuff which lead to items that are very, very missable.
Which is why it's good that we've done Ceres's questline, because now we've got the Silver Cat Ring, and I almost died going down a fucking ladder because of the Crystal Sage.
Yeah.
You just took off like a flat fucking 50% of my health.
So this is why you want to get rid of the fucking Crystal Sage.
Yeah, like immediately.
So you just...
No, you're leading me the wrong way. You said go that way, and I'm like, what?
I would never say you go that way.
Tony, you've led... Tony, how many instances when we were looking through the route that we wrote out on the notepad has it said go to the right when it actually meant to the left?
Anyway, right,
or vice versa.
That lever that we pulled leads to a Titanite slab, so you obviously want to come back here.
Yeah, so this would be the first available slab to you in the game outside of the optional area Archdragon Peak and outside of Siegward's questline.
Yeah.
That's the first available slab.
So this is us just behind the lever that we pulled initially. I'm just going to cut that footage. Now the Crystal Sage is above us. Now what you'd want to do is you want to go up this ladder and then run and hit the Crystal Sage from behind. Because the shorter run, it means you'll be able to get more hits in at it.
If you buff your weapon, you should be able to kill it here, by the way.
Oh yeah. So basically, in the first run of the Crystal Sage, if you're using our build but you don't use the Toxic Mist strategy or whatever because you can't be fucked, if you
flame weapon, then run at it.
Yeah, two-hand as well, and wail on it, you should be able to get it down by half health when you first meet it.
By
initially.
Just over half health, because when it goes up to the third spawn from here, like the spawn after this, only has like fucking 20 HP. I think I'm a one-shot it. I can't hit it from here because it's too far away, so my bow won't reach, which is a pain in the ass.
Nah, it teleports away because it almost had enough health. So yeah, so basically on the first encounter, if you can get it down by half and then you come up here, hopefully you can take away the second half of its health, and that way you don't need to deal with it on that bridge over there. But right, so what
you could also run at it in the first instance, and then you'd probably have it die quicker from Toxic here. But
so as you can see, where we are to the...
We're on the balcony below the Crystal Sage.
Yeah, and the stairs to the right of the lever takes you up there as well. So it's just trying to get, like, well, obviously I had to wax again, but it's a good way to get your bearings.
You basically always want to have Waxhead in this area. The good thing about this game is that I'm really surprised that being Waxheaded doesn't take away your head armor.
Yeah,
I'm really surprised.
So here's where one of the tricky drops are. So you
probably want the Silver Cat ring on.
Now
I'm just trying to find a safe space to stand so I can.
So this is our footage now. This is the guide footage. So you drop down off that little ledge to get a Titanite scale. But then, right, equip the Silver Cat ring if you have it, and then you want to drop off again to get the Avalon. Now this is probably the most missable item in the entire game.
Have you not noticed that this is pretty much the exact same thing you had to do in Dark Souls 1? Drop off of an upper platform down on top of a bookcase to get the Avalon in the area with all the magic library books.
I know.
Where are we again? It's another cycle.
Aye.
It's fine. It's not reused. It's another cycle.
Beat for beat. So there we are. We're back where we were, and this is the balcony where the Crystal Sage was. So now we can continue on with the rest of this area. So we're going to come up here. So this is instead to the right. We're going to the left of the Crystal Sage balcony, and we're just going to press on and kill these enemies.
Yeah. So there's a really fucking annoying enemy in here coming up that I just despise. I hate them. We're going to be coming up to one of those Outrider Knights.
Yeah.
And God, I fucking despise them.
You really do.
I suck at them. I can't not suck at them. I don't know how to unsuck.
So what you can do here is you can jump off this gap in the wall here, and you can run and get the Crystal Sage.
You don't wanna, because there's a ladder over there that you need to kick down, don't you? Do you need to kick it down?
No, you don't need to kick it down.
You don't need to?
No.
Okay.
So you can just do this, and hopefully this will take care of the Crystal Sage. By this point, you should definitely be able to kill it, and then
I'll one-hit it.
You can just continue on with the rest of the fucking archives.
Yeah, and that's... So that's the final spawn point, but now the ladder's just on the right up here.
Yeah.
God, I hate the Crystal Sage in this area. Just see, because he constantly peppers you with spells, it makes it so fucking difficult just to live.
I know. So we're not picking up any items or making any progress until we've done what we're going to do first. We're just showing you get rid of the Crystal Sage and then just come back here and do what you got to do. So right, we went back and waxed, and now
broke the... You didn't include the part with the invisible wall.
Yeah, that's fucking...
Do you want to stop and go back and put it in?
Nah, it's okay. You'll know where it is. Right, just basically where we were. There's like an alcove in the wall.
You can see that you can see a gate on the wall for like literally no reason.
Yeah.
So just hit the wall.
But yeah, a weird editing glitch there.
It's where we killed that last scholar guy, the candlestick dude. It's where we killed him, basically opposite side of him. You'll see it. But yeah. So what is it that's in this room again? You get the full Outrider set from this guy.
Yeah. The Outrider set is not bad, but
it's
you get Soul Stream in the next part.
Oh yeah, in the room behind them. And Soul Stream is just basically the Kamehameha.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that there like just inflicts frostbite, that breath. I think that's one of the... I think maybe the other one does it as well. I can't remember.
And obviously it will inflict frostbite like through your block as well. So
that's the full armor set, and this is Soul Stream. This spell is like ridiculously funny. I've seen quite a few videos of people using the binoculars to like snipe full teams of people from like quite a good distance away.
Yeah, no, it's the ridiculous shit people were doing is fucking nuts.
Dark Project Mayhem was one of the guys that put up one of those videos with the big soul stream logs.
I mean, you can see where that hole in the wall was now.
Yeah.
So right now we're going to make actual progress, and we come down the ladder, getting up the item, and obviously you won't need to.
Yeah. There's a lever here as well that I always miss. Yeah. I didn't know this existed until we done the game.
Don't need to fight him. Don't need to deal with anything down there.
You never have to fight him.
There's literally nothing there.
There's zero reason to deal with that guy in any way.
But
so
there's the
lever right beside the staircase, and that's going to open a shortcut back to where the second wax pool was, where the thralls were.
Yeah.
That's going to open up that shortcut there. And what is it that's in here?
Scholar ring.
Scholar's ring.
I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
+5 intelligence.
So it's pretty cool ring.
So that's the wax pool. You guys should recognise it.
Now it's a shame that you don't get the scholar ring before now, because you could equip the scholar's ring without having the stats for the storyteller staff, equip the staff, and then just use the pestilent mercury.
Yeah.
But you don't get it, so.
So there was a drop down there. We're going to go past it and get the shortcut that takes us to the very bottom of the archives.
Yeah.
Because this shortcut is very valuable.
This means that when you do the drop, you can just take the shortcut back as opposed to going all the way around. So it's actually worthwhile doing this first.
Yeah. So it's actually, you've seen me try to roll off the elevator to like not come down, but you do want to come down because you need to pull the lever to bring the bookcase down. Yeah. Which is so that's at the very beginning of the archives. When you come into the archives from Goddard's body, when you come in, go to your right, your immediate right, before you even get to the little bit where the sage first spawns.
Yeah.
So on your immediate right, you'll see the bookcase is open just below where you fought the Lothric Knight.
So at this point, you want to send it back down, because you'll be dropping down and using the shortcut in a second. Yeah. But yeah, it's not that big a deal. So
silver cat ring on, because this is quite oh no wait, this isn't the big drop.
Yeah, it's not.
The Avalon was the only big drop. So there's a crystal lizard down here. When you drop down, you'll see it. It's just like underneath the platform.
Yeah, we'll try to get an angle on it, but you just go down
try
this
to see it. It's right there. I got the angle though, didn't I? Got the plunge.
And that is.
That's pretty much the like that. You don't need to come down anymore.
Nah.
Oh yeah, you're gonna see where the shortcut door is, and that's the Lothric Knight's drop that's still there because I haven't used a bonfire yet because I'm pro like that in it.
Yeah. so there we go.
Up here.
Just quickly, we're back up. We're waxing. We're going back. Just quickly speeding this bit up.
Yeah, you basically always want to have wax head, especially this next area, because this place is just full of like the Ghostbuster ghoul hands.
Yeah, definitely. So make sure you're waxed for this area.
Yeah. If you take a lot of hits, by the way, the wax will break, so then you have to re-wax.
Really?
Yeah, the wax eventually, if you take a bunch of damage, the wax will break. This chest has Twinkling Titan in it, I'm sure.
I think so.
And this here, if you get hit with this, it ends up like covering you in wax, and then you end up over encumbered and you can't roll. It's like Demon Souls when you're in the fucking Valley of Defilement in the swamp. Yeah. It's fucking annoying. So yeah, it should be Twinks, right? Yeah, Technic Scales, sorry.
So there's a soul packet in the bookcase, and then that's it for the items here.
This soul packet is literally designed to curse you if you don't have wax head, because it's just, look at the state of this.
Yeah. The guidebook says that there's more items around this area.
They're above it.
Possibly.
There's an Estus shard above it, and there's something else above it on the throne, and there's a shortcut ladder above it as well.
I think
Orbex ashes will be here later as well.
Yeah, but we'll show you how to get them. There's a sort of bit of a method.
Yeah. Another thing that, like, you won't see us do it. We're not going to level up like at all throughout the archives. You guys can do it, but we're keeping all the souls. You need about 130,000 to buy out Orbex inventory, and we're going to do that before the Twin Princes boss. So we're going to buy out all Orbex spells, talk to him, get all this stuff, and then Orbex will become a summon for the Twin Princes after you beat another boss. He's not going to be a summon for us, but you guys could go to Archdragon Peak and beat the Ancient Wyvern because it's really fucking easy. You can literally kill it with a plunging attack, and that's it, dead, one shot.
Yeah.
And then you can come back here, and Orbeck can be a summon for the Twin Princes. We don't know how good he is, though.
Yeah.
That's like really the only thing. We don't know how good Orbeck is for the Twin Princes, but you can get him. He will be available after you kill a boss, as I said.
The thing being is you don't need to summon Orbeck for the boss to get his ashes, so really it doesn't particularly matter either way.
Yeah, you can just get him. He's there as an option if you want him.
Anyway, so we're on the roof now. You saw where we went, but there's like a couple of drop downs and shit we've got to do. So there's a chunk here. Now to the left of where we're standing, there's a drop down to get a hollow gem, I think. Yeah,
hollow gem, as well as Grey Rat's ashes will now be here because we sent him here before the Dragon Slayer armor. We sent Grey Rat here to the Grand Archives to pillage.
Yeah.
And now he's here. So we're going to put on our Silver Cat ring. Well, we've got the Silver Cat ring on already, and we're going to drop down here and grab the hollow gem.
Yeah, so this means that it will now unlock the
Oh,
last...
it's Titanite Chunk. The Holo Gem is other side.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I try to kill this Lothric Knight, and then yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just going to cut that bit out, because this fucking...
I fucking hate the Lothric Knight. So we're just back up here. We're going to drop down again. And there's a door on our left. Now this leads us to Corvians. There is no good way to deal with these Corvians, let me just tell you that.
It's either
just
time consuming or you just run in and be careful.
Yeah, so like I try to toxic mist them and shit like that, and it just doesn't work. I find
like it does work, but the problem is that it takes so long.
You can't toxic the storytellers, and it takes up so much time to do it that it's just not very effective. So honestly, my advice is buff your weapon with something other than flame weapon. Give it like the use gold pine resin or something like that will give you like a big damage buff, because flame weapon's only going to give you like 60. Use gold pine to get like 80 or 100 damage or something like that, and then just run in and wail on them as they transform, and then back away and try and deal with them one at a time, because it's a real fucking pain in the ass. You might actually get some luck if you pull them back around to near where the Lothric Knight is. That tight corridor, you might be able to funnel them down one by one, and they might fall off the side. You could maybe work
Another
something
thing
with
that's
that.
also possible is that
They will just gangbang you.
I don't think they're even guarding anything in particular, so you could pretty much just run past these guys.
Yeah,
don't need to fight them. But these guys, I don't know what the deal is, but these have literally fucked me up like royally. These
They're
particular
very high
Corvians.
damage ones because of this area. It's as if they're scaled up to meet this area.
Yeah.
I think they do more damage than the fucking gargoyles up above them.
It's just because like if two or more get you, then you're like they just.
It's that jump. It's that jumping thing. Like you can't hit them during it, and they hit you even if you roll it.
It seems like
irritating.
Yeah, so I mean it's pain in the ass. Now, like I said, you could easily just run past this particular area, because I don't think there's any items here anyway.
You need to run past them to get to Grey Rat's ashes, but no, there's
so
nothing at the Corvians or on
edge.
the rooftop beside them. I don't know why I exited this, because I paused it to quit out and go to something. I think you were looking at the guide.
Yeah,
We're
maybe.
probably looking at the map.
So that's a drop item there.
Yeah, that's probably a shriving stone or a fucking Corvian knife or something.
So you can see you don't actually need to fight them. You could just run straight past them, and it's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
But
So this jump's a little tricky for the angle, but you guys should be able to make it no problem. You just got to get that angle right, basically.
Yeah.
So
So there's Grey Rat's ashes. So you give that to the handmaid, and she'll sell everything that Grey Rat did sell, plus extra stuff that he has pillaged, I suppose.
Yeah. So this takes us back down to that takes you back down near the bridge with the crystal sage. So we're just going to cut that bit out as we're coming back to this rooftop, and we're going to go. This is us. We haven't dropped down. We're still on the very first section of the rooftop. Like go down the ladder, walk around past the first gargoyle, and this is like further round.
So if you just hug the left and walk around, then you'll get to here. It's quite easy to lose your way on the rooftops. I got a bit lost, so it's possible that you could get lost as well, maybe.
So you can stun the gargoyles with 6 one-handed R1s and then take the riposte. So I try to get 3 hits in and then avoid their attack, get 3 hits in, continue on. 2 crystal lizards here. They could kill themselves.
One should kill themselves potentially.
It can if it runs off to the right side, but this one won't. So you just have to chase it down and hit it with that sweet plunge attack. Jaffeel. And the Corvians are right down there.
Yeah.
So you could actually plunge attack the Corvians.
Don't plunge attack the Corvians. Do
I'm
not
saying
do that.
the option is there. It's just a very bad one, because by the time you recover, they're already jumping on you and you're dead, basically.
Because you end up plunging in the middle of 4 of them and you don't kill one of them from doing it, so...
Yeah. I mean, it probably would work a lot better if you were a strength build and you're using like a Fugs or a Yorm's Great Machete or something like that. You know, that would probably work.
So now there's basically no other items on this. Well, there's a Titanite chunk a little bit ahead, but then after that you can just run to the next area. You don't need to deal with any other items, any other enemies. In the guidebook it says that there was a
lance up here.
One of the gargoyle weapons. Yeah, we looked about, we couldn't find it. You can look about harder, maybe you will find it.
It's definitely not like a guaranteed drop, because I killed every gargoyle on this rooftop when I was looking for the lance. We killed every gargoyle and we didn't get a single drop from them.
Yeah.
So it's not on this rooftop as an item you can pick up anyway. It might have just been a drop that they got when they were writing the guide and they included it.
Yeah, because they thought it was there.
Yeah, they might have thought it was a guaranteed drop or something because like they killed all the gargoyles or some shit like that, you know. It's just a simple error it seems, but it's definitely not up there. So I'm going to wax head again because...
You better... See that item there with that enemy? If you don't...
Yeah, no, I can see it. I'm looking at it. I can see it.
Okay, you do run back and get it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just wax heading in it.
Just make sure.
Look, I need to make sure I'm prepared for all, like, scenarios here. Wax head is needed for that, innit?
Yeah, okay, fair enough. So pick up an ember. You could have just done that as soon as you ran in. Just
I could have just grabbed the ember and then ignored him, yeah, but then where would I get any pleasure from?
So you can leave out to the left, or you can come down here for some extra items. And there's another Lothric Knight here, but you don't even need to fight him. You won't even aggro, so it's quite lucky that.
Yeah. He doesn't drop anything like guaranteed because I killed him and didn't get a fucking thing, so we know he's not get a guaranteed drop. But I think it's a chunk or something out here.
Yeah, I think it's chunk or 2 chunks.
Yeah, two chunks.
Nice.
And that's literally, and that's the rooftop where the gargoyles are. So
yes. So you could maybe have jumped off here and then came around, but that's saving you like a second.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And it would mean that you would miss out on like the
one of the chunks.
One of the chunks that are up there, yeah.
So come around here at the right. We're actually nearly done-ish. Most of this area's length.
Well, I mean, we're done with like the internal part of the archives for the most part. We're only going to go inside one more time, and that's when we went to the very top of the place.
Yeah. So basically, right. Remember that boss in Dark Souls 2 where you had to fight 3 guys? Yeah. Well, now you need to do it. It's not a boss. Should have been a boss anyway, and this is marginally easier.
I think this is a lot easier. Because you don't have one of them with a fucking great bow knocking you on your ass every time you try to swing.
There is like a slight strategy to doing this.
Yeah. There's a little corridor sort of place on the right side of where we are now. We're going to take them in there because the mage will stay down in the courtyard, if you're lucky, in there. The mage will stay down in the courtyard and he won't be able to hit you with anything, and then you're just free to beat the shit out of his friends. And
this guy is actually quite weak in terms of the amount of damage he's taking. Now, as far as I'm aware, they've only ever healed once. Don't quote me on that. I think they only heal once.
I think every MP... I always
he healed twice there.
I always go with the basic, everything has 3 Estus. That seems to be like applicable in almost every case that I've seen anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I'll always have 3 Estus.
But thankfully these guys are relatively easy in the amount of damage that they take, so even if they are healing, it's not quite like when you're fighting Hawkwood or anything like that.
You can quite safely pick them down, but like try and take out the Onikiri Nubidachi guy first because he's the weakest one. He'll be the one that you'll be able to kill the quickest anyway. And once he's gone, it's just a 1v1 with the Great Axe guy because the mage will stay in the courtyard, and then the mage is just like, it's basically a pity killing at that point.
So I mean, the Great Axe guy can dish out a decent amount of damage.
He can hit hard, and I'm getting fucking game stutter and crashing like in the middle of this guy's fucking rampant assault. This battery. So I'm really happy about that.
So you can see the 40 health is putting in.
Yeah. This guy's gonna have to like fucking 5-shot me, and that's not gonna happen.
Because I mean, if you had like maybe 20, 25 health, it's quite possible that he could have one-shot you with that one particular combo.
Oh, I'd be dead if I had 25 health because he took me down to like fucking 10%. So.
Or shittier armor even.
Yeah. So these guys will all guaranteed to drop one item. This guy will drop Onikiri Nubidachi. That one will drop the shield that has really good magic defense. And
so it's not the lightning defense one.
No, it's the golden wing shield. It's the magic one. And this guy will drop the staff, right?
Yeah, crystal
staff, yeah.
Which is probably the same as Dark Souls 1, I'm not sure.
I doubt it's the same as Dark Souls 1. I mean, we haven't really delved into sorcery and shit because of all the sorcerers that we've faced online and that. It just seems really pointless at the end of the game. And there's no real reason to, like, go through the game as a sorcerer when you can just dump with a raw stories and you can beat the game just as easily.
Yeah.
It's a shame, like, magic doesn't really feel like it has a place in this game for us anyway.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's just personal. That's just a preference
thing. This elevator will take us all the way down to the bonfire where Goll's body is.
Yeah, so this is this was good for setting up fight clubs.
So I think at this point we're going to go do Orbeck, right? Because we've got 150,000 souls.
Possibly.
Do we do Orbeck now, or is that after the bird cage?
I guess we'll see. Well, we're going back to Firelink regardless.
Got an Estus shard.
Yeah.
We're probably going to do.
I think we'll do Orbeck later because it's not that long. I think Orbeck is like here or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Oh yeah, we've got an undead bone shard. Or undead bone ash. I can't remember. Bone shard. I don't know.
So this brings us up to. Is this our 15? 15 Estus?
No. That's our +5 Estus or something like that. Or +7. I can't remember.
Well, we have 14.
Bone shards are for improving how much the Estus.
No, I know. I'm saying I think do we even have an
Estus?
+10. Yeah, we do. So this is us. We've got our +15 Estus now.
Yeah, that's us get our 15 total.
Alright, 15 plus 10 Estus. There we go. Fucking said it. So
no, we don't have an Estus shard yet.
Yeah.
We don't have an Estus shard yet.
We do.
No, because I just allotted 14 Estus. With an undead bone shard, we have the Estus shard as later.
Okay, right, never mind then. Thought we did.
The Estus Shard is later.
Okay, so we're putting on Tears of the Nile, and now we're going back to the Grand Archives. Now we're
Yeah.
going to deal with like a fucking, this area is irritating as all fuck.
You can make it easy with a little bit of patience though.
Yeah, I mean, as with all things in Dark Souls, really it's either patience or a cheese method, and we don't know of a cheese method, so it's just patience.
Yeah, we're just gonna wait because like there's 3 of these like massive golden wing knights up here, and they're just like the normal wing knights, but they've got a lot more health, they do more damage, and they have a bunch of like flying attacks and all that shit. They have a patrol route where if you take them on too early, then you're gonna fight all 3 of them at the same time. But if you wait a few seconds, then you can take them one at a time, basically.
And they're much easier when you're doing one at a time. It's not really a hassle. But if you're fighting 2 or 3, it can be really overwhelming.
If you're fighting 3 at a time, you're fucked, because those 2 ones with a halberd will just like, they'll come in with that fly spinning attack like from both sides, and they'll fucking cleave you in 2.
Yeah.
It'll be like, you know that scene in Not Another Teen Movie where he gets tackled by the 2 players and they split him in half? It's like that. So we're going to come in here and we're going to run straight around to the right, because there's an Estus Shard right here.
Yeah, that's where the Estus Shard is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you need to go up this staircase, because I've tried to go around that little section there. You can't. The game doesn't let you for reasons unbeknown to us. But we go around here.
Yeah.
And this is the Estus Shard. There's a Hunter's Ring up here as well.
Yeah.
And in New Game Plus 2...
We'll show it specifically.
Yeah, it's actually right there, right in front of us.
Yeah.
Straight up there, like at the top of this staircase. If you go a little bit around, there's a little useless like cubby section.
So now we picked up that item. No, you need to pick up the Hunter's Ring.
The Hunter's Ring's at the very top. So there's a cubby right above that little balcony there. It's literally useless for you to go into. But in New Game Plus 2, there is a Lingering Dragon Crest plus 2 ring in there.
Yeah. So we walked around far enough just to make sure they've started aggroing. Now they'll come down and they'll start patrolling.
Yeah, so we're going back to where the Estus Shard was. And we're going to wait until one of them appears on either the left or right hand side, because they'll split up and they'll take like their own third of the rooftop, so you can safely take them on one at a time. 2 will stand over like underneath where the Lingering Dragon Crest ring is, and this guy is the one who like walks around the back, so you take him on and then you can go round either the left or the right side of the roof and take on the next one and then kill the third one. And if you kill all 3, you get a slab.
So that's why we're going to do that.
Yeah, so that's your second slab. So these guys are pretty easy to backstab, which is good. I pulled them out of this animation with a backstab, which was just sublime.
So satisfying.
Like, just calculated.
This guy's easily the easiest one. The Axe's moveset is really easy to punish, but
it has no range, basically.
Yeah, the halberd one can prove a bit of an issue.
So they might like drop things for you. I don't want to pick that up, because the only thing I'm aware that they drop that is guaranteed is the slab for killing all 3 of them.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to put on a bait item. So I'm going to put on Tears of the Nile, and then I think I'm going to bait that over, probably like a throwing knife or something.
Yeah, probably something like that.
Something smart.
Or
I'm just gonna charge it until it. Yeah.
Fuck it.
Just gonna wait for the aggro.
At the very least, this isn't round far enough to be able to aggro the other one.
The other one's on the other side of the that little section that pops out, so you don't want to go round there. Maybe pull this guy back round to where you fought the twin axe one, just to be on the safe side, because the other one's just on the other side of that archway.
So I mean, you can see it's not going to give you too much of an issue. It's just a shame that you can't get the golden wing knight set for whatever reason.
These guys are actually a little harder. These guys are definitely harder. The ones with the halberds are definitely harder than the axe ones, because this attack is fucking ridiculous. There's one that they do where they spin a lot. I tried to get the backstab again, but I'm afraid that it was just a calculated risk that didn't pull through.
Nah, it didn't.
But you'll see them do it. They have this, they can do that, but they can come in, they can start that from like flying in, and it's fucking ridiculous.
I was like 6 hits or
I know.
something, like
my stability held out and then I just rolled it somehow. That one dropped as well.
Yeah.
I think they all might like have drops. I didn't pick them up, so you guys might want to pick them up. So if these are items that they definitely
be going over the drops.
Fucking hell. But you haven't done. So give us the Golden Wing Knight ones first, and then we go back into the archives. We can talk about the scholars and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So the Golden Wing Knights, I think it's Gertrude's Knight actually. Wing Knight Halberd they can drop, or the twin axes. Titanite shards, Titanite chunks, blessed gems, and the Titanite slab is the fixed one. So the other ones are random drops.
Alright, there you go then.
Again, they've got the thralls in the area. So just while we're fighting this guy, the thralls in the area drops Thrall Axe, the Flamberge, that's the guys with the hoods. Thrall Axe or Flamberge if they have it. The Thrall Hood, Titanite chunk, Crystal Gem.
The thralls up here drop chunks?
Yeah, nice. Hollow Soldiers. That's the ones on the bridge, there isn't any of them. The Lothric Knights can obviously draw whatever they're equipped. So Lothric Knight Sword, Lothric Knight Spear, or the Great Sword or the Lothric Knight Shield.
Your full armor set, tiny
full armor
shards.
set, yeah, tiny shards, trunks, refined gems.
The scholars though, what do the candlestick guys drop? Grand Archive scholars.
They can drop the Scholar's Candlestick or the Scholar's Robe or Crystal Gems. So up here, that's where the...
Under this rooftop, in this little set, in there, that's where the Lingering Dragon Crest Ring +2 will be in New Game +2. And we're going to drop into this birdcage that I narrowly, like, like Dancing with Destiny almost.
Aye, that generally shouldn't happen if you drop in properly. So.
I was just a little bit too quick. So dropping down onto these rafters now, there's a ladder. There's a ladder down below us. On the opposite side of the rafters, like opposite diagonal of where the ladder is, behind this man grub down here. That's where the Sage Ring +1 will be in New Game Plus.
Something I will also say is that the gargoyles on the roof can drop the Gargoyle Flame Hammer or the Gargoyle Flame Spear, both alright weapons.
Yeah.
And the Corvains just drop the exact same things: Corvain Great Knife or Corvain Great Scythe or Shriving Stones.
Yeah.
And the Storyteller one can drop the Storyteller Staff. So
this ladder's here. If you were to look like behind us to our right now, the Sage Ring +1 will be over there on this level of the rafters.
Yeah.
If the guide is correct. If the guide's correct. This should be Divine Blessing and Twinkling, right? I think it's Divine Blessing.
Yeah, that one's a Divine Blessing.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we are going to... Right, so there's one last item we're going to get, another Titanite slab. And that involves...
Another slab?
Yeah.
Wow. This place is pretty good for items.
Yeah, so basically we need to run all the way back up to the bridge.
Yeah.
So we're going to just do that.
I think that's where we're going, right? Oh yeah, I'm taking this ladder up here because it's just like right there. So this is the ladder that we kicked down where the Estus Shard was up here, right?
No, it's
no, it was the
bone.
The bone.
Yeah.
So you'll notice the third one. Yeah, there we go. It's because I'm covered in his scholar juice, his gender fluid.
So yeah, you can see that this is obviously a much shorter way than going all the way up around the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the bridge is literally just through this door.
Now, we strongly advise that you do not fight a single thing on this bridge because there is no items here, there are no guaranteed drops, and there is zero reason to actually do it other than annoying yourself.
You specifically want to farm for the Deserter set in this particular area because you're a fucking idiot and can't go to an earlier area.
Yeah.
So yeah, just run past this you don't need to do it. You don't need to fight anything.
Yeah, you can either run to the top and then use the quit and reload tactic, or if you run to the top and to your right, there is an elevator where the Lothric Knights will not go into. Like there's like a barrier there; they won't be able to get in. Yeah, in here. And this shortcut here takes us all the way down to just before the Dragon Slayer armor.
Yeah.
So the Lothric Knights will never come in here. So you're pretty safe here. And there's a slab under here. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. You're right. This is where the slab is. This was the elevator. Like when we were doing the run for the guide, I was like, I know there's a slab under an elevator somewhere. I know it's here somewhere. And I was, they called me crazy, but I'm not crazy. Try to get us with again one of the old elevator under an elevator. We didn't fall for it with Ziegmar. We won't fall for it now.
Nah, they'd done it once in Bloodborne, and then that was enough.
I know. GG. You've played your hand. You've played yourself.
So yeah, this comes up and now we go down and there'll be a slab down here and then we are just going to...
Then we're going back to the shrine.
Yeah.
Because we get a slab. But I think this is the point where we do Orbex shit, right?
Yeah, this would be the point.
Yeah, because we get 200,000 souls. Remember guys, it's going to cost like 100... I think when we did it in the preliminary, it was 130,000 total.
120, 130-ish.
Run about that, yeah. That's to buy his entire inventory. Then what you want to do, so give him the Crystal Scroll, buy all his spells, exhaust his dialogue over and over and over and over again until you get all of the items that he gives you. I think he'll give you 3 items, right?
Yeah, he gives you 1 item and then he gives you...
2 items afterwards, yeah.
So basically, if you do the entire archives without dying like we done, this will give you enough souls to buy all of his spells.
More than enough. It'll leave you like 70,000 afterwards.
Now, if you have been doing what we've been doing and didn't use any of the soul packets,
you still have enough.
Yeah. So either way, you'll have enough to do this.
If you don't, you can just go like a run through the archives killing everything and you'll get enough souls immediately. It'll take you like maybe half an hour, but by the time you go through the archives from the bottom to the top again, you'll have all the souls that you need. Now you want to exhaust his dialogue a whole lot, walk away from him, come back and talk to him again just to make sure he doesn't give you anything else, and that's you finished with Orbeck. Now,
now if you reload the area, Orbeck will go away. However, so like we said, right, now in our preliminary guide, we didn't need to beat another boss and Orbeck's summon sign did show up. However, we're giving Grey Rat's ashes as well, and now this will expand her inventory with basically everything.
Yeah, now her fire arrows will have Grey Rat's price, and there will be embers at Grey Rat's price and stuff like that as well. So all the items that Grey Rat could sell, she now sells, as well as you will get all the items that Grey Rat would have sold if he survived Grand Archives.
Yeah. So, as I was saying, if you want Orbeck for a summon for this boss, just go to Archdragon Peak and beat the first boss. So just go to the next area in the guide on the videos to see how to do that.
Yeah, if you don't know how to do that anyway, because that part hasn't been uploaded yet. If you don't know how to do that, then go to where you got the lightning blade from the Irithel dungeons, that little statue where you get the dragon headstone. Go there and use the dragon gesture that you acquire from behind Osiris. It will take you to Archdragon Peak. Just run through, kill the ancient wyvern. Don't fight it like one mano a mano. Run past it and hit it with a plunging attack at the end of the track, and then
or just wait for us to
back
upload
here.
the next part of the guide.
Yeah, I mean it'll probably be uploaded like 24 hours after this.
Point is though, like we said, Orbeck, you don't really need him for the boss anyway, so it's not a necessity. And
this is another 2-stage boss, by the way, so you're going to want to try and conserve Estus in the first half, because the second half of the boss is tougher.
Yeah. Now this is just footage, or at least I will show footage of
Where
showing
the
you where
shortcut
Orbeck's
is.
sign is as well.
Oh yeah. So this is the Dragon Slayer armor bonfire. This is, I think this is the best way to get to this, because the bonfire's right here and it's just like a quick fucking 20-second run there. And this is the elevator where the Titanite slab was under it, and it's going to take us all the way up to the boss.
This is like an actual useful shortcut.
Yeah, so one of the very few really useful shortcuts. The Grand Archives is actually one of the best areas in terms of useful shortcuts, because they can all be used to a certain extent.
At least once.
If you consider like bonfire trips in between, because you get a lot of souls in the Grand
Yeah.
Archives and a lot of soul packets, then yeah. I think the Grand Archives are pretty
So
well designed.
just wait for the initial Lothric Knights to do a patrol down
Yeah.
the stairs, and that way you'll never need to fight any of them because they don't come back.
Yeah.
So this should be this is the preliminary footage. We've already opened the door, but Orbeck's sign is up to the right.
It's on one of these platforms, isn't
Yeah,
it?
so it's not this one, it's the other one. So that's where Orbeck will show up if you beat another boss. I don't know why it showed up for us.
We don't know why it showed up here, but it didn't do it in our actual guide for some reason. But we definitely know that if you beat another boss, you will get Orbeck here. So now we're back to the guide footage, right?
Yeah, so you open the door and you go through the area. It should be easy enough. It's just a small corridor. Cirrus's sign is there to the left. You can summon Cirrus for this boss also. And this is the last...
If you're still on good terms with Cirrus.
Yeah, so this is the absolute last thing. Well, there's one more thing, we'll show you that. But this is the last area that you can do all of Cirrus's stuff. So after this area, and after
Cirrus is no longer a story
yeah,
factor.
we can now do Rosaria after this, in this part.
So this boss is interesting in the fact that it takes standard mobility out of the question, where instead of walking around and like dashing towards you and stuff like that, the boss teleports. If the boss teleports, you basically want to wait about a half second and then roll all his attacks. You'll pick up the timing after a few tries at stage 1, definitely.
Yeah.
But stage 2 is where things get a little tougher. The attack openings are closed because the second prince is in there and it hits you with a bunch of ranged spells. So, but you can pretty much dodge past this guy. He's got quite long recovery after all his attacks. You can riposte him apparently.
Yeah, this definitely isn't the...
See, he has legs and he's not using them. Like he's clearly he's like a benefit cheat. Getting that sweet DLA money, innit?
Anyway, so this guy's actually not really even an issue. You've seen the teleport thing there. Okay, sure, it might come up a couple of times where it'll get you off guard, but generally, if he teleports, just roll back the way, and you should be okay as long as you're out of range.
Roll to where he teleports from.
No. Oh, yeah, I suppose so. Actually, yeah.
So I should be rolling to where he started the teleport from. That attack there, though, you don't want to do that because it's a poke. It will follow you. But I got worried here because of the fucking skip.
Yeah.
But that's the one attack you really need to worry about. That does some pretty high damage, and it knocks you back and shit like that. He has that in stage 2, and his brother follows it up with a Crystal Soul Spear. So don't think that's an opening anymore. It no longer is.
So now this is where the boss actually gets challenging because you have a lot of mobility issues to deal with. He'll teleport, but there'll also be a lot of Crystal Home Soul Masses floating about that you need to dodge.
Yeah.
So Yeah, so basically it's kind of like the first stage, but you have all these ranged things to deal with.
Yeah. Now, what you want to do, if you're using our weapon, you want to always cycle round to your right. You want to rotate round that way, because your longsword swing comes in from right to left, and you only really need to... the one you want to kill is the younger prince. You want to kill him.
The one on the back, because once you kill him, that'll end this stage.
Yeah.
So, as you can see, you want to stay fully mobile, because that's a bit of a bastard, because he'll launch those homing orbs, and then he'll teleport away, so you need to keep track of both things.
So, the top health bar is the one that you want to deplete, basically. Once that's done, fight's finito, done, over. You
can see that his actual physical attacks are not really a threat, and that vertical slash isn't an issue either. You just... I just didn't dodge that very well. So now I'm looking for an opening. Yeah, it's when these things happen, you're going to have a bit of an issue.
Yeah, it's when you need an opening to heal and he starts chasing, it becomes more.
So what you can do, right, so there's a double-edged sword to this. Once he fires out the homing orbs, you can get behind these pillars, but if you're fighting behind the pillars, there's not a lot of room to dodge.
There's not much camera, there's not much forgiveness in your camera either.
Yeah.
Which is a real problem. It's always been a problem in these games.
So this is why I think that rolling backwards from the teleportations is actually the best option, because no matter what, if you roll away from where the camera is, as long as you're outside of his sword range, you're definitely not going to take damage. For instance, if you unless it's the poke attack.
Now, when you get the younger prince low, to about maybe a third or a quarter health, then you want to kill the older prince, because that makes the younger prince is then vulnerable to a bunch of attacks while he charges up a Wrath of God and revives his brother, which you're going to see here. So I back away, but this is a huge opening. You can get a lot of damage in, and then just try and roll through the Wrath of Gods, get in, and then deal damage as he's climbing onto his brother, and you've practically finished the fight if you kill the older brother when the younger prince is down to a small amount of health. It should be pretty simple. But I just fucked it up by not taking advantage of the Wrath of God charging window.
Another thing to notice is that the rolling back technique also works when he does that teleport to the same area, because if you're rolling back, he can't hit you with a downward slash. Not only that, when it does any ranged attack, you need to be careful and make sure that he's not going to follow up with another ranged attack from the guy on the back.
Yeah. It's his...
The thing is, though, this boss is actually... There's not really a super secret technique, because it's fairly obvious what you should or shouldn't be doing for this boss. It's just a case of just getting used to it. You shouldn't have really that much bother with this boss. A couple of tries and you should be okay.
So, what you want to do is come back to Firelink, and you want to offer up the Twin Prince's soul, and this will advance Orbek's questline. You need to do this to advance Orbek's questline. So when you do this, though, the Firekeeper is going to teleport you to an unkindled Firelink Shrine, but just warp back to the Grand Archives, because that bonfire there literally only serves to take you to another bonfire, to take you to the last area of the game where the Soul of Cinder is. That's literally all it's there for. So we're just going to use this to fuck off, because we're not wasting our goddamn time here.
Yeah. So you could go to the end boss at this point, but there's a bunch of stuff we're going to do before we do that.
So we're going to go to the bottom of the Grand Archives, the Grand Archives bonfire. We're going to take the elevator that's on our immediate right.
Apparently we're not.
Oh no, we want the interior one, because that takes you up to just below Orbek's room, because that one takes you all the way up to below the Winged Knights. So yeah, you want to use this elevator. Orbek's ashes will now be here, and this is how you can get the Meridian Blade.
Yeah, so again, to reiterate, right, this is what we're going to do to get the Meridian Blade, but this particular method means that we get all the spells and the Meridian Blade.
And all of the things that Orbek gives you, which you would probably want to get if you're going for achievements, because it gives you a ring.
Yeah, now, if you kill Yuria, you can't get the Meridian Blade that way. If you kill Orbek, you can get his ashes and give his ashes to Yuria to get the Meridian Blade, but then you miss out on all the spells. If you kill Orbek and get his ashes and give his ashes to the Handmaid, you can get his spells, but then you can't get the Meridian Blade because you can't give it to Yuria.
Yeah.
So this way it means you can get all his spells and the Meridian Blade. You might as well do it this way.
See, that's why we bought all of his inventory before we beat the Twin Princes, because then that's the latest you want to leave it to get his inventory.
Yeah.
Because once you offer the ashes, it advances his questline, and if you haven't done it by then you can't do it anymore, basically.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, buy out his inventory. That way, when you give the ashes to Yuria, you don't lose anything, because everything that the Handmaiden would sell, you've already bought.
Now, if you don't buy his inventory, he'll stay there. So I guess what you could do is leave it until you want to buy his inventory, then kill him and give his ashes to
Oh yeah,
Uria.
the skull ring will be here now on Lidlith's seat because you offered all 4 of the Lords of Cinder, so now Lidlith has offered himself, and that's the 5 Lords that let you transport, blah blah blah.
And because we've beaten the last of the 4 Lords, Cyrus's talisman will be on outside.
And Cyrus's body.
Yeah, which we never noticed, which was a little bit grim.
No, I noticed it. I was like, oh look, that's Cyrus's body.
No, I mean, I never noticed the first time. It's kind of hidden a little bit.
Yeah, it's because she's camouflaged well. I wonder how high her camo index is. Is it like 80%?
But, right, so basically, right, you want to do Orbeck this way because we want to do the game without killing any NPCs. That's generally how we do these guides.
And this way allows us to finish all the NPCs' natural quest lines, basically, without too much sacrifice. Of course, we sacrifice like the Pale Shade stuff, of course, because we're doing Uria's side, and you can only get that if you oppose Uria. But we want the Merion Blade, and we want to get the Lord of Hollows ending, because that one's the hardest ending to get, and it nets you a trophy. So we want to do that as well. And you may as well get the hardest ending out of the way, because the other ones are all just fucking easy.
Yeah, and that was the last of the shards.
Yeah, so that's us get 15 Estus at plus 10, and now we're just going to level up whatever we want, because we're pretty much finished. We're just putting more points into health because we can at this rate.
Honestly, see, by the time you got to 40 health...
Before Dragon Slayer armor, the build was done.
Yeah.
It would have been sometime after Osiris, the build would have been finished, basically.
You can pretty much do whatever the fuck you want at this point. So right, now we're going to do Rosaria's quest because we've finished with Cyrus.
Yeah, Cyrus is dead. She's no longer a factor in the game. So we kill this thing to get Hazel's pick and Hazel's crown, which is good.
Now we've already got that stuff. However, apparently we can get it again.
Yeah, I think once you offer up the 4 Lords of Cinder, I think that Hazel's grub becomes available if you've fought Hazel in the game, because that's apparently what happens when when Rosaria like rebirths you a bunch, is you turn into one of the mad grubs. So if you offer a Pale Tongue to Rosaria at this point, he will now show up here behind us. Leonard will,
without reloading. Yeah,
so then exhaust Leonard's dialogue, and now we want to go. We want to reload this area. So just warp from here to Firelink and back, or just Homeward Bone, or something like that. Just go through a loading screen, basically, and Rosaria will now be dead.
Oh, we just go to Bonfire Last Rest. That's a way of being able to reload the area without... Yeah.
So you can now use Rosaria all the same way as you're about to see here.
Yeah.
So you want to grab this, and it's a black eye orb. And now we want to go invade Leonard, and to do that we need to go to the Aldrich Bonfire. So completing this is going to get us the Soul of Rosaria. Now you can use that to bring Rosaria back, but there's no reason to, because you can still use Rosaria all the same even though she's dead.
It's purely cosmetic, so you can use her soul to get Bountiful Sunlight or something like that.
Yeah, it's Bountiful Sunlight, which is a co-op heal spell, so that's probably more worth it than bringing her back for no reason.
Yeah.
Now, Leonard is going to be using the Crescent Moon. What's it? Crescent Moon Sickle?
Yeah, and at this point you're probably maybe slightly
you're going to fucking destroy him. I mean, you get him in a corner and you can fuck him up.
But yeah, you need to use the Black Eye Orb as an item here, and then you invade him.
It's very similar to Dark Souls 1 when you invade Lothric.
I mean, it's basically...
it's the same, because I mean, he's even using a fucking shottle.
I know. It's like fucking...
And he kills a friendly NPC.
Every fucking beat of Dark Souls 1. Just fucking... Anyway, right, so you kill this guy, and then you get Leonard's, like, hat.
Yeah, and the Crescent Moon the Crescent Moon Sickle, and you can buy Leonard's the rest of Leonard's garb from the Shrine Handmaiden.
I mean, I think so anyway.
Yeah, you can. You can. I guarantee that. You can buy the rest of it from the Shrine Handmaiden. Is that the last? There's more of... What are we doing after Leonard's stuff again?
Fucking no idea. Because
there's a bunch of clips in there, and I don't know why they're there, Tony. Care to...
it's right. The last clip is just more footage of us doing the
princes?
Yeah, the twin princes. Just because... I just, study what we're doing just so you can get a better feel for it. I think that we sort of maybe fought the twin princes too quickly or whatever, so I just want to make sure that whoever's watching this will be able to be like, okay, that's what I'll do.
I think we're probably going to do that in future when it comes to any of these sort of games, where if the boss is just a simple case of get used to it and beat it, we'll try and include more footage of the boss.
Yeah.
Because if there isn't like just a ridiculously easy cheese method, then you're going to want to see more of it. But if there's a cheese method and it's guaranteed every time, and we can show you that, and you can replicate it every time, then there's no reason for us to show you a whole lot of the boss when that option's there.
Yeah.
But when the option isn't there, then yeah, we're going to show you more. But that's Solar Rosaria, that's the Crescent Moon Sickle, that's Leonard's hat, and now we can buy all Leonard's shit from the Handmaiden. And I don't know what the remainder clips are before the boss clip though, Tony. There's still like 2 more.
Right, so I was going back to Firelink. Well, right, initially we go back to Rosaria's boss room, and then it was at that point I was like, wait, what does Rosaria's soul even do?
And then we decided, nah, fuck that bitch.
Aye.
Fuck that hoe. So yeah, we decided not to give Rosaria her soul back because it's about as useful as bringing back the Vile Blood Queen.
Aye, it's literally, it's also
the same.
Very, very similar.
In fact, it's less useful than bringing back the Vile Blood Queen, because at least bringing back the Vile Blood Queen, there's no reason not to bring her back either. Because you don't get anything for having like the Queen thing on you. So
that was our indecision, and then we're like, wait, okay, right, no, back to Firelink.
Yeah, fuck this. I'm keeping her soul.
But yeah, I mean, that's it pretty much for this episode. But after this bit, it'll just be more footage of the boss.
Lothric. So these are like our end stats, and they should be showing up, right? They're on the right there. But yeah, they're on the right. So that's our end stats. We've got like 42 vit, 40 endurance, and then we're just invested in the Astora Sword and Tears of the Nile. That's pretty much it. So do you know what footage you could have used in here that would have been good?
What?
The playthrough footage of Gary fighting it. When he was like, I'll cheese it, I won't use a shield. I'll cheese it with rolling. That'd have been good to use in here. In fact, yeah, you guys can go watch that Let's Play, because that's a pretty good fight. A pretty good example of the boss fight being pretty close, but Gary's just arrogant as fuck.
He was drunk as well.
Yeah, and he was arrogant as fuck, so he wasn't like intimidated by how close the fight was. He was just like so cocky that it didn't matter.
I know. Okay, so as you can see, like, right, these basic attacks are incredibly easy to dodge. You will not have a problem. Huge
fucking window where it's like a huge wind up, and the actual attack is pretty quick. So you can, I find, see the attacks that have long wind up and a very quick active, I find them very easy to just naturally dodge.
Yeah.
I think those ones are pretty damn good. It's when they have like a really long wind up and then a slow start up to the actual attack, and then it speeds up right at the end. Those attacks fuck me, because like really long delayed charge attacks, those like really get me. But those basic attacks like that, those are pretty simple, and that was just me fucking up the timing again.
Yeah. To be fair, that was a bit of a camera issue. It was kind of hard to tell how far away.
I had no idea where he went. I had literally no idea where he went. So that attack, every time he uses that attack, I try and like roll forwards through it, because it spreads out in front of him in like a triangular shape, and it just extends out quite far. So I just try to avoid it by rolling past the point of where the flames start. They start about like halfway down his sword, so if you roll into his face, you should be pretty safe. It's when you lose the lock on, you know shit's going down.
Yeah.
And I couldn't see him because he's like hiding in plain sight. He's like, I know what it was. He had the sun to his back, the glare. Smart.
So like stage 1's relatively simple. Like if that was the boss, you'd be like, what the fuck?
You want to have a good stage 1, by the way, because stage 2 is when you're likely to get hit by things and you're likely to use a lot of Estus. So yeah. Stage 1 is that you want to try and get stage 1 down. Stage 2 is pretty similar, but there's just more shit to dodge.
So I don't know if you saw there, but like he'd done a backwards dodge at that first teleport, and that was very safe. Like that got him completely out of the way of that.
Unless he like teleports behind you, you're pretty safe.
If he teleports like a far distance, and then starts to do a wind up, you know he's going to do like a thing, but you can see there that he started to do a wind up, then just teleporting straight into an attack. So it's quite unpredictable, actually. You
can see here as well that because I'm rotating around to the left, I'm doing a lot more damage to the older prince than the younger prince, and that's kind of what I want to avoid. That's why I said it's better to rotate to your right, because the shoulder I'm ducking under right now, my first hit is always hitting the older prince. But if I get round to the right, then my first hit will always hit the younger prince, like this here.
Yeah.
And that's when I realise I should be circling this way because of where the longsword attack comes in from.
Exactly.
Just, so you're always striving for improvement, self-analysis. Yeah. But this is probably definitely the toughest part of the boss, is when you need to deal with the older princes, like melee attacks where the younger princes firing soul mass and shit like that out.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, that's probably the hardest thing to grab.
This bit here, by the way, after the Wrath of God, you can get like 2 or 3 hits in very safe. So definitely take advantage of that. But like I said, best time to kill the older prince is when the younger prince is very low.
So much damage.
Yeah, I know. I think he actually kills me. Or do I get away? Holy shit, I got away. I'm hoping that chair will like block out some of the crystal soul mass that's coming my way. Yeah, thanks, chair. See, chair's got my back. I'm with chair. Vote chair 2016. I mean, it's dead now, so it's really like a wasted hope. But, you know.
It's about the principle of it.
Alright, just try to get that last hit in. He's always a wee fucker when I'm trying to get the last hit in.
Aye, Sam the last one as well. So yeah, there you go. There's some more footage of fighting him. You should generally get a feel for what you should and shouldn't do now. Just basically do the opposite of what we do when we get hit. There you go.
Aye, that. So when we play well, do as we do, but when we don't, just do as we say.
Aye.
So
But anyway,
take the best of both parts and mash it together to make the ideal us, and then just look at us as if we are always that, basically, and forever appreciate that, because we really like your validation.
So anyway, there's a good fucking hour-long part out the way, but that's everything. Next area is Archdragon Peak, and then it's on to the end boss. So,
yeah, and we're going to show you every ending available in the game because we have PC and backup saves are ridiculously easy to work with.
so it's good shit.
And cheat engine.
Anyway, we're going to leave it there, and we'll see you in the next part.
See you guys then.
Bye.